Hi everyone. Today we'll be solving few selected aptitude questions from GATE 2024 architectural branch. Starting with this particular question, which says that how many four-digit positive integers divisible by 3 can be formed using only the digits as given, such that no digit appears more than once, as in no repetition is done in this particular question. Fine. So before we begin with this uh, particular question, I would start with the basics. For example, let's start that we are considering two numbers, suppose 1 and 2, and you are asked to form two-digit numbers without repetition. Okay, what do I mean by without repetition is if there are two numbers 1 and 2, you cannot be formulating the digit number to be 1 and 1 because 1 is being repeated, right? I do not want that. So, hence, without repetition. So, this is a simple question, right? So the options would be 1, 2 or 2, 1, right? So we have two possibilities, right? So now, if I do this in this way, right? Yeah. So I have two-digit number and I have two options, right? I have two options. So if I use one of the option here, how many options will I be left with? As in, how many numbers would I be left with? One, right? So to fill here, I have two options. To fill here, I have one option, right? So what we do is we multiply these options. 1 into 2 gives me 2, hence two possibilities. Let's take one more example. Let's have 1, 2, and 3. Fine. Now again, we have to make a two-digit number without repetition. Fine. So 1 and 2. It's a two-digit number, right? So how many options have we got? We have three options. When one number is used here, how many will I be left with? How many options will I be left with? Two options, right? So this. Hence 2 into 3 gives me 6. So there are six ways. There are six numbers. Okay. Basically, there are six two-digit numbers which can be made out of 1, 2, and 3 without repetition. Now, this is what a simpler basic concept is, but it can be a little complex by adding variables to it. For example, in this question, what they have said is divisibility has come into the picture, right? So if I give an example, a number is divisible by 1, all numbers are divisible by 1. When a number is divisible by 2, when the last digit is even, right? This is an even number. When is a number divisible by 3? When all the digits sum up and that number is divisible by 3. 4, similarly, last two digits have to be divisible by 4. 5, end digits are either 0 or 5. So on and so forth. Right? So coming to this question, we have yeah. What are the options that we have got? We have 1, we have 3, we have 4, we have 6, and we have 7. So what we'll do is, so let's first try to check whether the summation of all these numbers, okay, gives me a number which is divisible by 3 or not. 1 plus 3 plus 4 plus 6 plus 7. Fine. Let's see. It's going to be 21, which is divisible by 3. Now, this would have been very simple if they would have said that form a how many? 5-digit numbers. But what they did is they have asked to form a 4-digit number, which means I'll only require 4 numbers. So let's have a permutation and combinations to see which are the combinations of numbers which add up to a number which is divisible by 3, right? So let's see. If I have 1 plus 3 plus 4 plus 6, what is the sum that I'm getting? 14. Is this divisible by 3? It's not. So this combination won't work. Let's again see 1 plus 3 plus 4 plus 7. I'm omitting 6 here. Okay? What would I get? 15, which is divisible by 3. So this is one combination. Next, 1 plus 3 plus 4 I'll omit, 6 plus 7. How much would it be? 17. Is this divisible? No. 1 plus 4 plus 6 plus 7. How much is this going to be? This is divisible. Next, 3 plus 4 plus 6 plus 7. 20. This is not divisible. So now we see what are the numbers. What are the numbers that I'll have to include in my calculation will be these combinations. Fine. So I have two combinations. One is where I'll be using 1, 3, 4 and 7. The other one is 1, 4, 6 and 7. Now we have the refined version of this. Okay? This is case 1 and this is case 2. Now how many 4-digit numbers can be made in this case? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? This is the conventional way. 1, 2, 3, 4. So how many options we have got? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 options. 1 is used. How many are left? 3. Again, out of 3, 1 is used here. How many is left? 2. Out of 2, 1 is used. How many left? 1. Okay, what we are doing is we are basically, subtracting. Fine. So multiply, multiply, multiply. How much do we get? 4 3s are 12, 24. Similar case again. 4 options. 1 is used. How much is left? 3. 1 is used, left 2. 1 is used, left 1. 24. So one thing what you have to note here is there are two possible combinations. One is case 1 and one is case 2. Fine. So the total number of possibilities would be either this or this. Okay? When I say or, it means adding up. So the total possibilities we have got is 48, which means answer is option B. Fine. Now let me give you some more examples for you to practice. So initially when I said that assuming we have two numbers or three numbers, let's say 1, 2, 3, and we wanted to make a three-digit number without repetition, 1, 2, 3. So what was the answer? How many possibilities? How many numbers would we have got? Were 3. We had used 1, left 2. We had used 1, left 1. So 6 three-digit number. Fine. One important thing to note is if I would have said that the set is 0 and 1, how many two-digit number would be formed? Take your time, answer this. Fine. Let's see. 0, 1, 1, 0. How many of you got your answer as one two-digit number? And how many of you say two two-digit number? The correct answer would be this, because this is not a two-digit number. This is basically 1, right? Hence, only 10 can be formed. So what do we learn from this here is when we have 0 in the number set. 0 can never be at this position, which makes us with only one option left. So we have only one option, right, to fill here. Now, if I have filled one, how many numbers am I left with? How many options am I left with? One. Hence, one possibility. See? Similarly, you can try with this particular question. Let's say question number 1. 0, 2, 3. How many two-digit number can be formed? 1 and 2. Okay? Question number 2. Again, same thing. Let's write it there itself. How many three-digit number can be formed? Okay? Write down the answer in the comments for both the question. One more question with respect to divisibility. Let's have the same number set, 2 and 3. This is question number 1. This is question number 2. This is question number 3. Write down numbers. How many three-digit numbers? Three-digit numbers which can be formed and is divisible by 2. Divisible by 2. Okay? 1, 2, 3. And is divisible by 5. Let's see how many of you get it right. Okay? So this was the question from year 2024, question number 3. We had the answer 48. Now let's move towards the next question. So this one's a question which is based on infinite series, and it's a tricky one. Why? Because we know that the sum for a infinite series is a divided by 1 minus r, where a is the first digit and r is the common ratio, right? So if you see, I understand that a is 2, but what would be my common ratio? I do not find any common ratio here. So what I'm going to do is, the trick here is, you write down this first. Let's see. We are not going to miss any number that's been given in the question. So one thing what I notice is, there are even numbers and there are odd numbers, as in the numbers which are divisible by 3. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to divide it into two parts. One is odd and one is even. So if I divide it, what will I get? 2 half plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 8 plus 1 by 16 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 9 plus 1 by 27. Right? So I see a pattern here. It's 1 by 2 plus 2 square plus 2 cube. Similarly, right? So one thing what we can do is, we can add this 2, as in we can divide this 2 into two parts. 1 plus 1 by 2. Why? Because we have to use the infinite series ka formula, and this can be divided into both the parts. So I'm just adding this up here. 2 square plus dot 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 plus 1 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3 square plus dot. Now you see the pattern. We have A, the R, we can see R is what? 1 by 2, right? In this case, A is 1, R is 1 by 2. And in this case, A is again 1 and R is 1 by 3. So now we can use this particular formula. So let's just write it. 1 by 1 minus 1 by 2 plus, because this comes down here, 1 by 1 minus 1 by 3. So this would eventually give me 7 by 2, which is answer B. So there are many more questions which are tricky, but it's the detail that you have to see. Okay, the details that you have to notice. Okay, so the next question, question number 5. Let's read the question. So this question states that in an election, the share of valid votes received by four candidates, okay, A, B, C, and D, is represented by a pie chart. The total number of votes casted were this, out of which were invalid. Okay, fine. So first thing, this might be a lesson learned that in examination, what happens is we might rush, so we might not read the question properly. In first two sentences, we are like, okay, this is done. We can just start solving, but we might miss this important detail. So let's start. Let's just start with the information that we have. Okay. So how many are the valid votes? It's 1,15,000 minus 5,000. So it would be 1,10,000. And we have four candidates, A, B, C, and D. Okay. So what the question is, based on the data provided, the total number of valid votes received by candidates B and C. So what they want is only this summation of this. So what is the percentage? For B, it's 25%, and for C, it's 20%. So instead of going and calculating individual votes for this and this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this up. This is 45% of the valid votes, right? Which would be how much? 0.45 of 1,10,000. So this would come out to be 49,500 votes, which means answer is again B. Clear? So in this type of questions, it's very important that we read through the whole of the question and then start. Okay. Then we have question number 6. Uh, okay. Thousands of years ago, some people began dairy farming. This coincided with a number of mutations. Mutations mean change, okay, in a particular gene that resulted in this people developing the ability to digest dairy milk. Based on the given passage, which of the following can be inferred? All human beings can digest dairy milk. It's nothing related to all humans there. So this is no. No human being can digest. It's also not possible because it's not mentioned in the question that no human being. It's only about these people. Okay. Digestion of dairy milk is essential for human beings. It's not mentioned. In human beings, digestion of dairy milk resulted from a mutated gene. Again, this is the correct answer. Fine. Well, next we have this probability question. So the question says the probability of a boy or a girl being born is half. So let's see. P of boy is half and probability of being a girl is also half. Fine. For a family having only 3 children. Okay, this is very interesting. Okay, this is similar to that numbers that we did, like 3 digit and 4 digit. So that is how you're going to imagine this. So only 3 places are there, which means 3 children. Fine. What is the probability of having two girl. So two girls are a must and one boy. Right? Now, the important thing to notice here is the sequence. Again, it can happen that a girl is born first, second is also a girl, third is a boy, or first is a girl, then a boy, then a girl, or boy, girl, girl. How many combinations do we have now? We have three combinations. One, two, and three. Fine. So these are our probabilities, okay? So now notice one thing. Either this might have happened, or this might have happened, or this might have happened. When I say or, as I stated earlier, when I say or, it's going to be plus. When I say and, it's going to be a multiplication. Fine. So you understood the logic between why I'm saying or here in this case? Because the sequence can have a different possibility. It's not mandatory, right? Ki both, because they are not going to have six children. Fine. So three children, these are the possibilities. So since I said or, the probability would be P first case plus second case plus third case. So first case is what? Girl half into half. It's the probability, okay? P, P, P into half. This is the first case plus second. It's the same. Now you see, as I said, that these externally, it's going to be or either this is going to happen or this is going to happen, right? But you notice that I have put a multiplication mark here. Why is that so? For example, for case A, the sequence. First, a girl is going to come, then a boy. It's not a probability, it's not or a boy, right? In this case, we are certain that first a girl, then again a girl, then again a boy. Fine, which is why multiplication. Girl and a girl and a boy. Either this combination or this combination, hence plus. So if you calculate this, your answer would be 3 by 8, which is A. Is this clear? Okay, let's move towards the next question. So the next question says, Person 1 and Person 2 invest in three mutual funds A, B, C. The amounts they invest in each of these are given below. Fine. At the end of 1 year, the total amount that Person 1 gets is 500 more than Person 2. Okay, fine. Which means total returns, if I see, total returns from mutual fund A, B, and C. Person 1 has 500 more than person 2. Fine. Next statement. The annual rate of return for the mutual funds B and C is 15% each. As in 15% is for both person 1 and person 2. What is the annual rate of return for the mutual fund A? Okay, fine. So let's go step by step. So if I consider for person 1 and this is for mutual fund B and C. Okay. What would be my return in this case? 15% of B and C plus 40,000 because 20,000 plus 20,000. Okay. This would give you how much? 6,000. And for person 2, 15% of this is B plus C. Okay. Do not get confused. It's going to be 30,000, which would be how much? 4,500. Now we have
For B and C, what do you understand by the whole statement of this? Total return. Total return is a combination of A plus B plus C for person 1, and for person 2 again A plus B plus C. This would have been the ideal case. But what did they say? That person 1 has 500 more. So P1 A plus B plus C plus 500 equals P2 A plus B plus C. Fine. So I have my B plus C here because we have already calculated it here, right? So A returns from A. Okay, we don't know how much percentage it is going to be into X percentage. Fine. We know the amount. Amount is how much? 10,000. How much return percentage? We have no idea. Plus this. Okay. We could directly write this, but since we have already calculated, okay, I'm still going to write the whole of the equation just for your understanding. So B plus C, the amount, B plus C was 40,000 into 15%, right? Plus 500 equals, again, A 20,000 for person 2 into X plus B and C 30,000 into 15%. So this 10,000 X plus this whole we have already gotten, this one, it's 6,000 plus 500 equals 20,000 X plus 4,500. How? This is this. Okay. So from here, what is the final equation? 10,000 X equals, how much is it going to be? 6,500 minus 4,500, 2,000, right? So X would be 0.2. Fine. Now this is a number, but I want a percentage. So what would it be? 0.2 into 100 percentage, which is 20%. Hence, 20% is the return from A. Answer D. Clear? Did you understand this statement? If you understood this particular statement, that is where we got this from. Okay. Next question. So this particular question is based on your visualization. What I do is I try to make a proper diagram. Okay. So that is what I'm going to do again right now. Let me make a cube. There are certain tips and tricks during the exam that you can follow for such questions, like most of the questions in aptitude, because you cannot like solve it line by line during the exam because you don't have that much of time. But again, it very much depends on your practice. So yeah, the first, what's the exact question? They are given three views of the dice, and the question is the piece of paper that can be folded to make this dice is okay. So to understand this, we have to know what are the numbers on each of the sides. Okay. So starting with the first phase that we are given, it's 5. Below, it's 1. Fine. And on the left side, it's 4. Clear. First dice, we have understood. Now the second dice. So I see that 4 has been, rotated, and it has come to this face, which means the dice has been rotated. So let's just draw another dice. Okay. We will erase the numbers and we'll try to imagine as if this dice has been rotated. Okay. So if this is rotated, 5 would come to this side. I'm writing it as dotted so that we don't get confused. 4 would come on the upper side, right? 1 would still be at the lower side as per this image. Done. Now, as per the image that is given in the question, is what? 4 is on the downer side, which means if this side is 1, this side has to be 3. So I'll write down 3. Again, if this side is 3, the other adjacent side has to be 6, which means the side on the left of 3 is 6. I'm going to mark it as dotted. Fine. Now, the only number left as per the third image is 2. So, technically, it's here, but we'll again cross check. Fine. So, 2. Then on the right side is what? 5, correct. Again, on the other side, it has to be 6, correct. So, we have drawn the proper triangles. Now, let's try to break it. Because at the question, in the options, what we have is the unfolded one. So, let's make the unfolded piece. Okay. As per the options, they have started with 1. Okay. So we'll as well start with 1, which means this is the side that we have to look now. So if this is 1, okay, and I'm opening this particular dice in this fashion, like this. So what would the numbers be? First is 1, then would be 4, right? Then comes 6, then comes 2. Okay. Did you understand? I have gone like this in this direction. This we are clear. So as per the options, this is wrong, this is wrong. Now only it can be either A or D. 5 is this side. So that's fine. Now after 2, what's going to come? If 5 is gone, obviously 3. So, directly we would have gotten the answer after writing this. 1462. 1462, this has 1463. This is the wrong answer. So answer is A. I hope I was able to, visualize you through this particular question. So whenever such questions comes, try to, make diagrams and not just a small diagram, but a good, eye-scale diagram so that it's visible to you. Okay, next question. Yeah, visualize two identical right circular cones. Okay, right circular cone. So what is a right circular cone? In 3D, if I look, this is a right circular cone. Okay, in 2D, it's going to be like this, a triangular face. Okay. Uh, Visualize two identical right circular cones such that one is inverted over the other and they share a common circular base. Okay, which means another one is below this. So let's draw a diagram again. I'll always preach for making diagrams because that helps us visualize things clearer. So if this is one of my cones, okay, I'm making the vertices. And this one's the another cone. Okay, these are identical. right angle, right angle. Fine. If a cutting plane passes through the vertices, okay, interesting thing. Vertices. What is a vertice? Okay, how many vertices are there in a triangle? Answer this question. There are three vertices, as in 3 points, right? Vertices means what? Try to answer it yourself. If there are three vertices in a triangle, how many vertices would be there in a triangular prism? Answer. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, the points, the corner points. Fine. So if I have to ask you, how many vertices would be there in a cone? There would be just one vertex because there is this one corner. A circle has no corners, you know. So hence one vertex. Okay. So what they said that they are cutting through the vertex of the assembled cone, as in these are the vertices and they are cutting through this. What shape does the outer boundary of the resulting cross section make? Okay, so if I have this section cut, it would look something like this. This is cut straight, so sliced. It would look something like this, right? I have not drawn the diagram properly, but in 2D, if I see, it's going to be like this, right? So let's see the options. A rhombus, a triangle, not a triangle for sure, an ellipse. Ellipse is what? Which looks something like this. This is not like that because since the section plane, it slices through. Okay, it would slice in this shape, everything. A hexagon. So no, the answer is a rhombus. Now tell me if there would have been an option E, of a square, what would have been the answer then? Still a rhombus or a square? Do you know the difference between a rhombus and a square? Firstly, okay, so the answer would still have been a rhombus because these are not 90 degrees. Okay, that's one of the difference between a rhombus and a square. Fine. So yeah, that was all about aptitude from Gate Architecture 2024. If you want any more details or any more doubt clarifications, comment down below.